Hi, I'm Dion from certmathsvideos.com. Now with this question here, it's important to know your inequality rule. That is, when x is positive, then the value of this term here is greater than or equal to 2. And then when x is negative, that means that the value of this term here is less than or equal to negative 2. So we have to prove true for both cases. So we work with when x is positive first. X is greater than 0. Now we multiply both sides, we write it down first. X cubed plus 1 over x cubed is greater than or equal to 2. Now, we can multiply both sides here by x cubed because we're going to get rid of the denominator. And by doing this, we do not change the inequality sign because we know in this case x is positive. So that gives us x to the power of 6 plus 1 is greater or equal to 2x cubed. And we subtract 2x cubed from both sides. So x to the power of 6 minus 2x cubed plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Now this is working out very nice. So then we can factorize this. Now if you can't factorize it the way I'm doing it, you can always just let y equal to x cubed and do it that way and just substitute so that's y squared minus 2y plus 1. But I'm going to do it this way. I'll actually do it both ways. I'll do it this way the next time. So here we are, x cubed and minus 1 all to be squared. That's just a way of factorizing that. X cubed minus 1 times x cubed minus 1 is equal to the top line there. So we know that that is greater than or equal to 0. We know this because any real number squared is greater than or equal to 0. So we know what's true here. We've proved it true for the positive x term. Now for the negative x term, here we have x is less than 0. We're told, we're using less than here because the question we're told is x is not equal to 0. So here we have, write this down now. So remember in inequalities, 1 all over x cubed. Now, when x is negative here, we have to change this. We have to change the sign around, swap it around, and turn 2 into a minus 2. So you multiply this term by minus 1. So that means that x cubed plus 1 over x cubed is less than or equal to negative 2. So now what we want to do here as well, we want to do the exact same thing. We want to rationalize the denominator. So we multiply every term here by x cubed, but it's going to be slightly different from this one. So we get x to the power of 6 plus 1. Now, because we're multiplying by a term that's negative, remember x here is negative, so any negative number cubed is still going to be negative. So that means we're going to have to change around the inequality sign. So that's going to be greater than or equal to negative 2x cubed. And that implies that x to the power of 6 plus 2x cubed plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Now we're going to do the y substitution here. So I'm just going to say that y equals x cubed. Right, so your answer is y squared, y squared plus 2y plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. And now we have to factorize this, so that's obviously y plus 1 all to be squared is greater than or equal to 0. And for the same reasons here, that's true, because any real number squared is greater than or equal to 0. Now you can leave the y like that because y is obviously x cubed, but it doesn't matter what's in this term because any real number squared is 0, so you don't have to resubstitute the y. So that proves it there for both the positive case in x is on this side, and for the negative case in x is this side. If you found this video useful, please share it using social media.